Welcome back, you lovely bunch. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're all doing good. Going to talk about something super interesting today. We're going to talk about how you completely void any warranty you have on a frame by potentially destroying it yourself. Yeah, I've come up with a really smart idea. Let me explain. So everyone runs bigger tyres these days. Bigger tyres on mountain bikes, bigger tyres on gravel bikes, bigger tyres on road bikes. And so obviously the only thing that limits you is the tyre clearance of a frame. So this fork is limited to a 47C. I have run a 50mm tyre on it, so I did kind of push that a little bit further than I should. But the 50mm tyre didn't have an aggressive enough tread for me, so I found these Goodyear peaks in the garage. They're 2¼ inch wide, which is massively over the fork's clearance. You know, the fork is, like I say, a 47mm. Squeezed a 50mm in there, but like putting on like essentially a 57mm tyre, I mean, you're talking like massively over the amount. So this is my issue. So there's a bit of tyre rub there. There you can see, it's pretty tight to the crown here. And so what I should do is I should probably switch back to my other tyres or look at a tyre of a different tread that like fits within this fork. But I don't want to do that because I like these tyres. On the back it's wicked, look. Looks awesome. We've got loads of tread and we've actually got like a decent amount of clearance either side of the stays there. Whereas the front, we don't have a lot of clearance. So I've come up with a really smart stroke stupid idea which will completely void any warranty you have for your frame. So do not do this if you, well, yeah, don't do this basically, I think it's my advice. So I suppose I should tell you what I'm talking about. I want the tyre to fit and the thing that's stopping it is a couple of mil on the bridge of the fork crown. So I'm going to take the wheel out, flip it over, give it a little file and see if we can improve this clearance a little bit. Don't do this at home. So you can see here, I have actually kind of started attacking it a little bit of a file. And honestly, yeah, do not do this at home because it probably will void your warranty. Oh look, come here you! Look, see, the cat has come to give me some help. Probably only a millimetre I need to take off. So I'm going to give this a file really quickly and then we'll see if it works or if it breaks my bike. I mean, it is slightly terrifying, I'm going to be honest. Right, it does look a bit messy and a bit horrible, but honestly, I was planning on painting this frame, so like a little spot of paint, you won't even notice. And I'll have a bike that's got more tyre clearance than everyone else's. Right, so on road, it's faring pretty well. There's no rubbing, sounds all right. I mean, it sounds fine. There's not actually just a noise, but look, you see in there? And I wonder if it's going to like rub more with loads of mud on it, or if it's going to aid with the mud clearing. Might actually make the mud clear off a bit faster, but either way, I think it's going to be fun, so let's go and try them out. I don't know if I showed you it complete, but look, it looks awesome, right? Do you know what though? Changing the tyres to mountain bike tyres, I don't know if this is like an obvious thing, but I didn't expect it to be quite so obvious. So I switched from a 50C connector, which is like a low tread, like gravel tyre, to this like Goodyear Peak, which is like a 2.25, so it's like a 57mm. It's a lot more aggressive compared to the connector, but it's still not like a full-on downhill tyre or anything. It's like a nice cross-country tyre. But honestly, my bike feels like a cross-country bike now. Like, it might be because I'm running like lower pressure. When you corner, you can feel the tyre, like the casing, you can feel it like moulding more to like all the shapes of the road and like all these little rocks and stuff. Like as you go around the corner and you really push down into the pedals, you can feel the tyre like really gripping. And I suppose it just feels more like a mountain bike, which is not a surprise considering it's mountain bike tyres. Literally by putting cross-country tyres on, maybe it's a psychological thing, it definitely feels slightly more cross-country. It doesn't feel as fast, which is expected, but down like the descents, it feels so grippy. And now when I pull my back brake, I can feel the tyre really digging in. Summer's still here, we're just in September. It's a nice sunny day, but it is raining and I need a bit more grip. So I think the peaks might be staying on for a while. And also the rubbing, it's minimal, gonna be honest. There's a bit more rubbing when you've got mud on the tyre, but I actually find it clears off all the little bits of stuff. So a lot of you guys did ask me to test these wheels out, these Drive 6 wheels. You wanted me to test them properly off-road and on some cross-country stuff, doing some jumps and see how they hold up. And I don't have a cross-country bike. So basically the only solution is to turn my gravel bike, or flat bar gravel bike, into more of a cross-country bike. Kind of not a cross-country bike, is it? Anyway, enough waffling. Let's continue this ride because it's actually quite sunny and not raining yet. Right, this next one, look, can you see this? I never know if it looks as gnarly on camera as it does in real life, but look. This is definitely Virgin Moor on the cross-country side. So many big boulders, and there's definitely going to be some rim digging going on. But I've got massive tyres, and it's a really good test. Honestly, riding down that on a gravel bike, I'm sure many of you can relate to this. It's just unpleasant. It's too bumpy, it's too rough, and I think that's kind of like the limit of a gravel bike, basically, when it gets like madly rocky. It's fun sometimes, but it's like when you have to get off and walk because your bike just can't handle it, or when you're going down at 1 mile an hour because basically you're going to end up destroying your bike if you pin it. And on this, I think there's going to be a bit more pinning it. Fingers crossed we get down it. It'd really suck now, innit, if I try to get down it and I can't get down it on this bike. Click. So now I have about, I don't know, 30 mil of travel. Not a lot, gonna be honest, but it's more than I've got on my gravel bike, and I've got massive tyres on. So yeah, let's go get rattled about, or less rattled about than I would if I was on my gravel bike. Anyway, let's go. Whoa. You know, that was so much fun. It was still like, I still had to pick my line. Like, I've ridden down that on my full susser, and it is just like, I mean, that's the joy of riding a full suspension bike, right? You can just ride in a straight line, and the suspension absorbs like everything. Whereas like on a gravel bike, there's no suspension. I had to stop for some blackberries. Yeah, a lot of time on a gravel bike, your body is doing all the work, and like, that's why I wanted to run bigger tyres, you know? Stuff's quite rocky around here, and it means that I can still ride rough terrain on a gravel bike, but now on this, oh, look at that. It's good, it's gonna be a good winter bike, I think. I'll admit, after the first like climb, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like these tyres. They just feel a bit heavy and a bit sluggish. And I suppose that's what you're sacrificing. You're sacrificing that like, that speed and that fast rolling resistance for like more grip, like, more cushion, and well, yeah, more grip and more cushioning, you know? You can't have everything, can you? I can pump these tyres up really hard and they'd be better on the road, but they'd be worse off-road. So I think it's a good balance I've got at the minute, you know? I think you know you're happy with your setup when you keep looking at your bike and you're just like, yes, 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 yes. That's what I feel like with this bike. It looks awesome. But we're all adults, and if you want to put a massive tyre on your bike, go ahead and file it down if you really want to. And let me know if you're going to do it, because I'm interested to see your monster truck. All right, a bit more pedalling. Woo! It's definitely a lot worse for climbing, but you know, you can't win everything, can you? So you guys will be pleased to know that I still have my teeth. It didn't break. The fork didn't catastrophically just fall apart. I only shaved off a couple of mil. I don't know if it's too tight, I'm going to be honest. Like, mud is not going to wear through that. I mean, it was quite hard to file through it, so it might make a bit of noise. It might not be perfect, but you know, I wanted bigger tyres, and that was kind of the only way I could get it to fit, was to file the fork. It might be a bad idea long term, but we'll see. I actually really rate the tyres. I got more used to them now. I think because I've been riding my road bike and my gravel bike, suddenly switching to a cross-country tyre that is heavier, it is like more supple and it's a lot softer, like, so it feels slower. Well, it is slower, it doesn't feel slower, it's slower. So it's slower on the up, it's slower on the road sections, but when it comes to like the downhilly dirt trails, I mean, I'm just turning my flat bar gravel bike into a cross-country bike, but you know, it's fun. I'm gonna say as well, these wheels, right, like, I mean, dead true still. Honestly, like, I definitely dinged my rim a few times on those rocks. I'm running like 20 psi in the rear. I've got like no signs of any damage. It's just perfect. I didn't even scratch it. These wheels, honestly, have surpassed my expectations. I mean, if you're spending like that much money on a set of wheels, they should work, but I did think they'll feel a bit rubbish because of like the empty space here. I mean, that's a lot of space. You can basically stick your head through it, but they don't. They feel nice, and filing my fork down completely worked. You know, the more I ride this bike, the more I like it. So let me know what you guys think. Are those tyres too big? Should I file down my fork? Have I been stupid doing that? Would you do it? Yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys very soon. Bye.